Now, massive protest, and the BJP is making one allegation very clearly is that let's not even talk about economy or what the Congress is trying to do. All of these efforts by the Congress, the fuel price increase and everything else, all of this is just to fund your poll guarantees, and all of these are just desperate measures because you don't have any money left.
Ashish, look at who is coming to the roads. The people who are coming to the roads are those people who increased excise duty from 3 rupees 60 paisa to around 32 rupees, as high as 32 rupees in 2020-21. On the petrol, it was 7 rupees 97 paisa. They increased it to 31 rupees. That means on a nutshell, they increased by 900% on diesel, and on petrol, nearly 400%. These are the people who are coming on the streets. They don't have any morality to come onto the streets. Look at who is coming onto the streets. Those who brought LPG prices to 1,100 rupees from 350 rupees. So they have no moral right to come. Let me tell you some points why we had to raise our levies on petrol and diesel. We need to understand that among the neighboring states in South India, we are the least. Even after a 3 rupees hike, you see, diesel is costing 89 rupees roughly and 103 rupees petrol. In neighboring AP, it is costing 110 petrol and 97 rupees on the diesel. In Kerala, 108 rupees and 97 rupees. Telangana, 108 rupees and 96 rupees. So when you compare to our apple to apple of our
Mr. Sathya Prakash, we have all the data. Mr. Sathya Prakash, we have all the data about the fuel prices. In fact, we are running that on our screens right now as you speak. So you don't be concerned about it. We're of course informing our viewers as to what the rates are in different states as well and how Karnataka compares. But my bigger question here is how the Chief Minister is responding. One of the most shocking statements, which I think is really problematic, the way Siddaramaiah has responded to this, he's come out and said that why should people be so bothered? They've saved enough money from the poll guarantees. They'll spend a little more on the fuel. Is this the kind of statement that a Chief Minister should be making, especially when common people are voicing their concerns about rising prices?
He said that to a question, how will people be able to cope up with this price rise? He said there are a lot of pro-poor policies that we are giving. We are doling out nearly 60,000 crores to the people. And this price rise, the amount of money that we are going to get back is a meager 3,000 crores. That is what he has said. To what BJP is proclaiming that this price rise is going to affect so many people. We also need to understand what is this BJP government doing. What they're doing is of the 30 rupees of excise duty that they're putting, most of the excise duty is on cess and surcharge. That doesn't come into the tax devolution pool. So whatever money they're looting is not coming back to the states because the basic excise duty is just 1 rupees 81 paisa. That means 32% of that 1 rupee 81 paisa means we are getting only 45 paisa in return. States have to mop up their resources. They have to mop up their revenues. Today, the states have only 3 line items to mop up their revenues. One is stamps and registration.
I'll get in Ashiwini Shankar from the BJP now. Ashiwini Shankar, now, do you think this is some sort of a ego battle now between the states and the centre? On one hand, the centre says that, well, Karnataka has one of the highest tax devolutions. They should be figuring it out themselves as to how they can manage this. On the other hand, the state government is now saying that centre eats into a lot of our tax revenue. So we don't have any option than increasing the prices. Do you think this is an ego battle between the centre and the state, which at the end of the day, the citizens are having to suffer?
See, Ashish, being a more responsible opposition party in the state, we are answerable to the public of the state. And our Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is very famous for his arrogant and adamant behavior and giving irresponsible statements. Let me just bring it to your notice that when the Siddaramaiah took his swearing ceremony happened in the 2023, as well in this particular year when we had the budget for the state, he claimed and he made a statement that the state has already kept 55,000 crores for the freebies and there won't be any hike in any of the prices in the state. So this was the statement made by the Chief Minister of Karnataka. He always lies to the public and he always misleads the public. Being a government, being into governance, it is the major duty of the state government to act as the custodians of the public money. But here, every day, every night, we see scams happening and all the funds of the government being, diverted for the scams and for all these unwanted expenditures outside the state. What's happening? What happened during the elections? Let me just,
Ashwini Shankar, you made a very interesting point there.
That.
You said the BJP, as a responsible opposition, is answerable to the public, and therefore you're trying to keep the government in check.
Exactly.
Therefore, the BJP is trying to ensure that the fuel prices are not increased. So, Ms. Ashiwini Shankar, what happens to the BJP's responsibility in states like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar? I'll ask my team to run the graphics there on our screens about the prices. Now, we are talking about the prices in other BJP-ruled states which are much higher than Karnataka.
Yes, Mr.
Madhya Pradesh, it's 106.47. Rajasthan, it's 104.85. Bihar is 105.16. If the BJP is so concerned about the people, why aren't you speaking up there as well? Why is it only Karnataka? So this again raises the question and validates the Congress's allegation that BJP is only doing this for politics. If they're really concerned about people, they should be raising voices in their own states as well.
You can even see what is the price in Telangana today. It's the highest in the country. It's crossed 107 rupees. Okay, even now our Union Minister for Petroleum also made
Ashwini
it very
Shankar,
clear why
Ashwini Shankar, you're the BJP spokesperson. I'll ask Sathya Prakash to answer about Telangana. You please answer about Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Maharashtra.
Yes. See, we all know that, the hike has been from the central government side. It is due to the Ukraine-Russia war, and from the COVID also, the price also hiked. But now what is happening in Karnataka is not just in the petrol and the diesel amount. We see excise duty tax hike. We see stamp duty and registration fee hike. We see immovable assets tax hike. Stamp duty basic price 40% hike. Affidavit rates 20 rupees to 50 rupees hike. Motor vehicle tax hike. Power per unit hike, property tax hike by 40%, water bill cost per unit hike, milk and milk products price hike. So now the last resort for the state government is the price hike, because they made all these statements, announcements of the freebies unscientifically, without consulting the economists of the state. Siddaramaiah himself claims that he is a budget Brahma and he has, put forth the state budget.
Ashwini Shankar, once again, the point becomes the same. If the BJP is so concerned about the public, you have the government at the center. Why don't you let go of some percentage of the CGST? Why don't you let go of some percentage of the center's tax? Even that will help the public.
No. See, 19%, whatever is the central is, playing the role here. Okay, that is actually a fixed thing. Okay, that has to be taken a decision. But with the major tax levy, what we are talking about here is in the hands of the state government. If Siddaramaiah and the Congress-led state government here says that they are people-friendly, they are public-friendly, why don't they think about this part of the burden here for the public?
Okay, we'll talk about the politics. I'll get back to the politics. Let me go across to Vijay Grover now, as a senior journalist. Ashwini Shankar will come back to the politics of this.